Passage in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and chapter 5 talks about the rapture, and where Christ will come and snatch his people away. And so in that passage, some things that to know where the Lord just gives us some things that we are to do as we are waiting for this time. In chapter 4 and verse 13 it says, "But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep," and them that are physically dead. He says, "that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope." And so in other words, one thing that we are to do is to keep in mind that we are going to see them again if they are saved. The ones that are saved and they've passed on, we're going to see them again, so we don't sorrow like others do. And then it says, "For if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Jesus will God bring with him." In other words, they're coming too. It's not just the people that are alive on earth. It says, "For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep." And so we're not going to prevent them. We're not going to put a stop to them. When you're alive in Christ and have spiritual life, it makes no difference whether you're physically dead or alive. That will absolutely make no difference in who's going. And then it says, "For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, and with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of God, and the dead in Christ shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord." And so he explains that this is kind of what's going to happen. In chapter 5, in verse number 1, it says, "But of the times and of the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord shall come as a thief in the night. For when they shall say, peace and safety, peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." But what are they going to say when this time comes? Peace and safety. That's what they're saying, and that's what you hear in the world: peace and safety, peace and safety. We want to get rid of war. We want peace. We want to unite. We want to have one system, one way, one religion. We want peace and we want safety. We don't want to worry about chaos and wars and struggles and famines and financial difficulties and being laid off from work. And we want a system that is secure, that's safe. We want safety. We don't want human error. We don't want things that happen. We don't want those problems in life. We want a safe life, and we want a peaceful life. And they will say peace and safety, then sudden destruction. "But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief." And so he says, I'm not going to tell you about the times or the season, but it's not going to overtake you as a thief. But it says, "Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness." He carries on and then says that we are to walk as children of the light. And so that's one of the challenges. He says, if you are the light, walk as in the light. Don't just have the faith, practice the faith. But I want to focus on in chapter 4, verse 18, because here he gives us something that's to me is such a blessing, because he explains the snatching away. And then in verse 18 it says, "Wherefore comfort one another with these words." So what are we to do as we see the day approaching? As we're waiting for the Lord's coming? As we see the world cry peace and safety? What are we to do? Comfort one another with these words. Comfort your brother. Encourage him. Hey, if you know the Lord, it's going to be okay. Comfort each other. We are to comfort. And we can get so wrapped out about all the things that are happening around the world, and our minds can get filled, and we watch the news and look at there's negative news and there's bad news and this is happening, and people get all stirred up. And what are we to do? Comfort one another with these words. As he says, so comfort, he says, walk in the light, but comfort one another. We are to comfort each other with these words that, hey, God, Christ is coming. And when exactly, we don't know, but Christ is coming, and it's going to be okay.